Good evening. Welcome to Epiphany Lutheran Church in Richmond, Virginia. I'm Kevin Barger, the Director of Music Ministry. This is our Music Minute, where we are taking a look at the hymns that we'll be using in worship tomorrow for the 7th Sunday of Easter, bringing Easter to a close. And we are going to go in reverse order. So we'll start with the sending hymn, which is a hymn for Memorial Day. It was written by our pastor emeritus, Chris Price, and he wrote this in response to there really not being a solid text that could be used in a worship service for Memorial Day, which always, of course, falls on this weekend. The tune was written for Eternal Father Strong to Save back in 1861, so it's an old tune, and it's known popularly as the Navy hymn, which you might recognize. And Melita is the name given to the tune, and that's the ancient name for the island of Malta, which is where Paul was shipwrecked and found safety. So a little bit of history goes with it there. This is a gospel arrangement of Melita, or Eternal Father Strong to Save, or Hymn for Memorial Day. Very different from how we'll hear it tomorrow with trumpets and fanfares on the organ. But it's good that we can have different variations of it. Next, we'll go to the hymn of the day, which is one of my favorites, Thine the Amen, Thine the Praise. And this was written in 1981. It was written at Holden Village, which is a retreat center for renewal in the Cascade Mountains in Washington State. And it was the 10th hymn that had been written in as many days in this summer of 1981 where Carl Schalk was there. And the name is Thine, and that comes from the fact that almost each line starts with the word thine. It was intended to be a counterpart to the tune Now the Silence, that we sometimes sing during communion. And it was later changed to Thine because it made so much more sense. They were going to call it Then, Now and Then, and Thine just made more sense with the words that were chosen. And the fun part about this is that he had to write a song each day and finish by 3 o'clock in the afternoon because he had to get it to the printer so that it could be printed, and the printer closed at 4. But it had to be done by 4 because it needed to be printed and available for use in worship the next morning at this retreat. So this is Thine the Amen, Thine the Praise, and it is a fun piece. It has lots of varied keys. There are 13 key signature changes in this one. So have fun. So that's a fun piece, but not an easy one. You have to remember which key you're in. And last but not least, we'll have the gathering hymn, which is Crown Him with Many Crowns. It was originally published as 6 8-line stanzas that began with Crown Him with Many Crowns. That was by one text writer. And that was in reference to Revelation, of course. And another author in 1874 then published another 6 8-line stanza poem that began with "Crown him with crowns of gold." And these were intended to be kept distinctly separate as hymns. However, in practice, that has not happened. Hymnals combine them and mix them up all over the place, including our own. ELW has bits and pieces of both of them, and it's all put together in the same 855, "Crown Him with Many Crowns." The tune was written to match the text, and its tune name was the Greek word for crown, diademata. So this is "Crown Him with Many Crowns." So you can definitely feel the rich glory and regalness of that in that arrangement. So thanks again for joining us this evening. Hope you enjoyed it and learned something that maybe you didn't know before. If you're going to join us tomorrow in worship in person, we have moved to our summer hours. So that would be 8:30. That's the same. That hasn't changed. But the second service will be at 10:30 rather than 11. So 10:30 in the sanctuary. And if you're going to join us online, that 10:30 service will be live streamed on our YouTube channel. Thanks again for joining. Have a great evening.